After midnight, Vangelis, trusted neighborhood cab driver, friend of her uncle and painter on the side, delivered Sophie and a few other girls to a party in Psychiko, a winding, lush neighborhood filled with stately homes and embassies. Sophie's recent love interest, Nick, was throwing the party because he had the house to himself. His parents, both left-leaning lawyers, had gone to Thessaloniki to promote the rights of a local political campaign, and in those few days they had transformed that elegantly run-down house, with its curvy French furniture and old expensive rugs, into a student headquarters, making posters and distributing leaflets, writing letters to newspaper editors, and mostly discussing their visions for their country and what it could become. After Sophie's friends crawled out of the back seat, bare-legged with scarves in their hair, and disappeared behind the wrought iron gate, Sophie leaned forward between the seats to pay Vangelis. As always, he refused her. "I work until sunrise," he said. "Shall I collect you then?" His deadpan delivery was intentional. Some nights, when she was out pasting up flyers, she knew he idled nearby. Other nights she had been creeping up to her gate just as he was driving in from his shift. He'd nod to her, tip his hat, and bring in the milk bottle from his front porch. Sophie slumped back in the seat and returned her drachmas to her purse. "I'll pay you next time," she said. "Is that a yes?" Vangelis asked. His gaze shifted to the side mirror, as if someone was behind him. Then he turned to her, waiting for her reply. "If it's on your way," Sophie said. They both knew, though, she didn't need to answer his question. As dependable as the rising sun, Vangelis would be at the curb, holding his cigarette between his pinky and his ring finger, like a bouzouki player. She thanked him and kissed him on his rough, unshaven cheek. Behind them, the music from the back garden drifted to the street, along with a melody of enthusiastic voices. The air was heavy with honeysuckle, so sweet Sophie could taste it in the back of her throat, like wine. Others arrived on foot and motorbikes, and a handsome guy in a leather jacket opened the wrought iron gate, and she and others passed through the blossoming grounds. 3 young men with thick sideburns and turtleneck sweaters stood on the Doric-style entrance porch, smoking. Only after she moved past them, down the lantern-lit walkway to the back of the house, did she hear Vangelis drive away. The party was at maximum blare, with students everywhere, women in miniskirts flirting with men in tight jeans and slim shirts. She could hear the excitement in the loud music and the clink of ice in glasses, the profusion of words and ideas, and the overlaying thing nobody spoke of, but everyone felt. Sex. The yard vibrated with the combined heat of politics and passion. The elections were slated for the next month at the end of May. Would the king allow the elections? A woman with a large purple flower in the middle of her dress insisted that he would not. She sipped her drink through a straw. 2 young men nodded eagerly in front of her. On the house's large back porch, bodies she didn't recognize moved closely together, and Sophie brushed through a crowd of chirping girls, barely managing to survive yet another squad of men, and was nearly dragged to dance by a short, insistent law student with wild, curly hair. Nick. Where was Nick? Their situation was not exactly clandestine, but it wasn't particularly open either. He was 2 years her senior, having finished his undergraduate work in chemistry, and was now planning to study medicine abroad. But even had he still been a student, their paths wouldn't have crossed much, because she was studying French. Sophie didn't know exactly how he spent his days, because mostly she met him in the middle of the night. She had noticed him at several student-based political meetings, and they had officially met marching in the center of Athens day after day, supporting former Prime Minister George Papandreou. Their physical connection had been so strong that it had embarrassed her, the way they kept brushing up against one another, like aloof but aware cats.